Yo, what's up guys? It is Josh with the Preset Bros, and today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect pluck for any of your house tracks, just like this. Alright guys, so that was the sound we'll be working on today, and it's kind of like the inspiration is like Sultan and Shepherd, or some of the selected style tracks. They're kind of more hopeful and maybe even a little trancey. There's one song that's called Heart Attack. I don't remember who it's by, but anyways, yeah, just a really nice, pleasing to the ear pluck. Let's jump into it. Alrighty guys, so here is the sound, and let's go ahead and hear that soloed really quick. And just a side note, I do have some automation going just to make the sound grow, so it'll initially be a little more quiet, some of the highs cut in this first part, and then as we continue it'll kind of open up, and then on the drop it kind of has that push and pull a little bit. So let's go ahead and hear it soloed really quick. So that's the sound solo, just really nice, pleasing to the ear pluck, like I said previously, and yeah, super simple sound. Let's jump right in. So for oscillator A, we have the basic MDC, +1 on the octave, 32 on the fine tune, and then wavetable all the way down, 1 on the unison. I do have a little bit of sync window going on, and that's just at 1.2%, just kind of squeezing it in a little bit. The level is all the way up. Next on oscillator B, I have the MB saw, 0 on the octave there, 27 on the fine tune. The wavetable position is at 118. Other than that, I just have the level all the way up. Next, I do have a little bit of noise. I just have the J16 high pass chorus. Nothing going on here except the level boost, just a 51%. Now I am taking all of these three sounds and I'm sending them through the filter. And with the filter, I went with a low 24. I have the cutoff at 156, the drive at 12%, and that's it guys. Just make sure you check your A, B, and noise so it is telling them to route them through the filter. If you don't, it's just going to be super loud and none of the highs are going to be cut. So that's actually the tonality of the sound. Let's go ahead and get into the actual shaping. So first things first, I started the sound with envelope 1. If you can see here, it's a pretty plucky shape right here. Attack at 0, decay at 788 milliseconds, sustain all the way back, and then just a touch of release at 253 milliseconds. I am modulating the filter, however, with envelope 1, and I'm modulating it by 22, and it's just kind of creating that whip to give that pluck more of a pluckiness. Anyways, so that's all that's going on for envelope 1. Let's move to envelope 2. So for envelope 2, I have a shape that kind of starts out as a pluck and then it kind of bows out like that, and you'll see that in the settings here. So 2.8 milliseconds on the attack, 330 milliseconds on the decay. The sustain is 57.39, and then a lot of release of 1.72 seconds on the release there. Now I am modulating a parameter, it's actually in the effects, so we'll go ahead and get back to that. Let's move on to the LFO. So for the LFO, I'm just using this to kind of fine tune the sound, and I literally mean fine tune. I am doing the coarse, and I just have it on 1, so it's just kind of creating just a little bit of wonkiness, and you can tell with the shape right here, and it's just keeping that sound to sound like it's not perfectly in tune like a normal analog instrument, which is never perfectly in tune, and it's just moving it away from that digital sound into that analog feel. And I talk about this a lot in my other videos, and that's usually how I set it up. I have my tonality section, and then I shape the sound with the envelope, and then for the LFOs I'll usually kind of work on pulling that sound out of sounding so digital and moving it into more of an analog sound, and kind of just adjusting little parameters here and there. So that's all I'm doing there. Alrighty guys, so that's all that's pretty much going on the first page. Don't forget to check that mono right here, and let's jump over to the effects. Alrighty guys, so first things first, I have a little bit of compression going on here. Nothing fancy, just a little gain boost of 6.9 dB. Next, I have a German low-pass filter. I have the cutoff knob at 389 hertz, the drive at 21%, and the mix all the way up. And this is actually what I was modulating with Envelope 2. And it's just kind of after the compression, sometimes I like to throw on another filter just to contain the sound just a little bit more, especially when you use like a multi-band compressor. You're going to get a lot of top-end static, and so go ahead and throw a filter on after, and it just kind of cleans up your sound a little bit. I am modulating it by 40, and that's all that's going on there. Nothing fancy. Next, I have a little bit of delay. I just have it on the dot setting, 1/8, 1/8. The feedback is set to 53% on the ping pong, and I'm just honing in on those middle frequencies somewhere around there. And then I have the mix at 23%, and that's just kind of giving the sound a little more depth and atmosphere instead of just a boring pluck. It has these like other voicings going around after like a delay would, and so that's pretty much it. Next, I have a little bit of reverb on the Hall setting, the size at 18, decay at 3.8 seconds, low cut at 37, high cut at 65, spin at 43, spin depth at 33, and then the mix at 27. And everybody knows what reverb does. It just gives it some more atmosphere. You never want to drown out your sound entirely, but you do want it to have some reverb. Everything has reverb. Reverb comes from different rooms and spaces, and you can kind of control the, I guess, origin of the sound just by changing the reverb to kind of get things to sound like they were made in the same space. This isn't a reverb tutorial, so I'm getting way off track, but anyways, that is pretty much the last step for this sound. I did mention I had some automation going on, and so let's just go ahead and give that a look really quick. So here I'm modulating macro 4, and you can see it starts low and then it kind of opens up, and I actually labeled that macro open, and then it kind of has some more movement here in the drop as well. But all that's modulating is the sustain here, so instead of it being a ba plucky sound, it's more like a ba, and you can kind of hear that, so it's more plucky right here. And then here it's a little longer, so the note holds out longer, sustain. Anyways, next I got the cutoff here, and then the cutoff in the filter in the effects section. And so that's pretty much all the modulation. I have a little bit of endless smile going on, just creating a washout effect. But other than that, guys, that is the sound. Alrighty guys, so that pretty much wraps up the video. I hope you learned something. I hope you got inspired. If you guys have any questions or comments or feedback or anything like that, definitely put a comment down below. We love to see them. If there's a specific sound in here that you heard other than the one I covered that you want to know how the heck did he do that, go ahead and put a comment down below, and I'd love to make a video on that for you. We also have tons of presets on our website as well, so go ahead and follow the link in the description and it'll take you to our website and check out all of our good stuff there. We love y'all's support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay creative.